Good afternoon and welcome to our Midday Mull for Tuesday the 14th. I've been reading about various parts of the world trying to get the economy going again, opening up, businesses starting, and people debating whether it's too soon or not and what should happen and when it should happen. And when it does happen, the world's going to have to reflect quite closely on what we've been through and what we value. And are people more important than jobs? And is a person's life more important than a livelihood? Is it worth saving somebody from COVID if they're going to die of starvation? And these are issues which we haven't really grappled with. And I've been begun today reading Ecclesiastes. And the writer, probably King Solomon, says, "I, the teacher of the law, was king. I devoted myself to study and to explore by wisdom all that is done under heaven." And it seems like he's writing as somebody exploring from a plain humanistic, logical, worldly perspective. And the conclusion he comes to, verse 2, meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher, utterly meaningless. Everything's meaningless. And in a world that has distanced itself from God, that's going to be the problem. That people are going to have to be looking at values without really having something to base their value system on. And they're going to be confronting life which is meaningless. Because if it's just generated by a meaningless universe, there can't be intrinsic value in it. The minute you say life has meaning, it can only be that if there's an intrinsic value in the universe. And as Christians, we say, of course there's meaning in the universe. God created it with a purpose. We are part of this universe. This whole space is full of meaning because God is there. And therefore, that changes our perspective. And I think we're going to have to, as Christians, refine that and be able to speak that into the world. And say there is a value system. There are things that you can hold on to. There are things that give meaning, that can shape our understanding of what is going on. And Paul, as he writes to Timothy, is talking about leadership in the churches. And one of the criteria, he's speaking of deacons, he says, they must keep hold of the deep truths of the faith with a clear conscience. And I'm struck by the phrase, the deep truths of the faith. And I think as Christians, having celebrated Easter and the joy and the hope that represents, we've got to rediscover these deep truths and be able to speak them into a world which is not going to understand properly, will not get it, but desperately needs it. So strength and blessings in your day.